Okay, let's just do a quick little dummy test here. Okay, still hitting 5 trillion. Not too bad, not too bad. Okay, so gonna post this little update video on my BBC build. Okay, some things that I did to make it a little bit more tanky. It's not going to be tanky, right? At least my current iteration is still not going to be exceptionally tanky, but it is good enough for me. Okay, I can stand in like the Abyss Watcher breath for like a second or two. I don't really need to care about stuff on the floor. I can tank Devil, for example. Okay, so at this point of time, I feel like this is good enough for me. If you want to take it further, you can use some of the concepts in here. Maybe do a one-handed, as in a one-handed pistol and shield. Go for like max block on your, for example, using the shield, get max block using your memories, for example. Okay, that's a possibility to make the build tankier. Okay, the only problem that I have with that is that when you try to make the build tankier, I feel like you kind of lose the charm of the build, right? Like when I made this, it was basically doing a lot of damage and move, yep, it was clearing maps really fast, does a lot of damage, and it was still relatively cheap, to be honest, to achieve that kind of damage output. Okay, so the moment you start removing or start to slap on defenses, something has to go, right? My damage has to decrease, the price has to go up, something along those lines has to happen, right? If a build could do damage, a lot of damage, could move really fast, has a lot of survival, and still be cheap, then there's like a god build, right? Like everyone should be playing that in that case. Okay, so that is why I feel like I'm not gonna do any more defenses on this build because it's gotten to a point where I'm okay with it. Okay, so that's enough rambling. So what are the changes? Mostly it's just the helmet, to be honest, and the boots a little bit. So the helmet now has erosion taken as fire. I have some max elemental rares. I have fist taken as fire. Over here, same thing. We have enough erosion taken as fire. Erosion taken as fire, max res. Right? The whole point is that now I don't need to care about my erosion res at all, so I can drop all erosion res on all my gear. So this ring does not matter anymore. Right? All erosion is taken as fire. We increase our fire res to, negate the damage that is being converted. Okay, that's the core idea. We also have frost shield, which reduces the amount of fire damage you take and physical damage you take, right? Because these are the main culprits usually, okay, that will one shot you. Okay, the thing is, things that are going to one shot you are still going to one shot you, right? If the star, the sun, judgment, whatever in maps, right, it's still gonna one shot you. At least my version of this, I just don't have enough HP to feasibly, survive all of those hits. And I think it's kind of hard unless you are like life stacking or you actually invest into like proper defenses. But usually those builds require a lot of money to even hit like 5 trillion as well. Okay, so I'll have this POB out. Okay, um, you will see that everything is T0 now. I have like corruption. I corrupted this just now. So this is not too bad. I'll keep this. Um, yep, like people have gotten like better gear than me already for sure, right? They have like corrupted dawn breaks and stuff. Like that's completely fine, right? Those will help to boost the damage if you want to get survival. Just saying that, even with all of these T0 mods and stuff, like I'm just essentially barely hitting the cap on the dummy, I guess. Like you see, it's not like an instant like 5 trillion kind of thing. Sometimes it's, yeah, okay. I mean that's unfortunate. Okay, but you get the idea. Okay, like it's not a lot of damage, but I guess it is sufficient, right? It is sufficient enough. Okay, but that's for the first part, right? A small update on ideas. Okay, I'm just here to give you some ideas in order for you to build more defenses around this character. Okay, second part, I just want to talk about common questions that people have or mistakes that people have. So if you read Trinity, okay, you get Elipen based off your minimum effective elemental resistances. So, for example, here, my lightning rest is the lowest, right? It's 71 lightning rest, which means I'm getting 71 I'm getting 71 elemental penetration. So if you send me a code, right, and I see that you have 10 lightning rest, 20 cold rest, and like 5 fire rest, right? It means that you're only getting 5% penetration. So penetration is linked to your resistances, so you have to cap your rest, your elemental rest. Erosion technically doesn't matter, okay, but you have to cap your elemental rest if you want to have the full effect of the penetration. Okay, And to give you a perspective of this, right, 60 elemental pen is basically like 3 lines of an ultimate penetration mod on a ring, right? That's the amount of pen that you're missing out on if you do not cap your rest. Okay, while talking about that, okay, if you have elemental pen on the ring, it's not gonna have as much value compared to armor pen that I mentioned in the previous video. Okay, there's always diminishing returns on, for example, penetration. Right? You want to split the type of penetration that you have. Okay, you want to have some sources of armor pen, some sources of elemental penetration. Okay, so which is why in my previous POB, right, my boots had armor pen, right? On both lines, here I have armor pen. Okay, try not to stack all elemental penetration. It doesn't, or it's not as efficient that way. Okay, other things. So things that are worth, or more like there's a lot of power per FE. Okay, your hero trait. Okay, get +2 max hero trait. Let's say I clear this. Okay, like a +2 hero trait. Okay, still not so bad. Okay, 460 is still okay. This guy, this gives quite a lot of damage. So you can see, right, this basically boosts up your heat up, which is what your ammo count is. So it gives you damage per stack. So you really do want to get that. It's a lot of damage per FE. Okay. Okay. Some people have gotten to the point where yes, you have all the gear here. Okay, you're hitting like 600 billion. Actually, that's quite a common number that everyone is at, which does make sense because I was at 600 bill as well. Okay, after you hit this point, in order for you to get to trillions, okay, you need to have the T0 mod here. Okay, like I mentioned previously, okay, a lot of the damage comes from this flat damage mod. So you really want to have T0 ally damage to the gear. This will give you a lot of damage, okay? So make sure you get this. Afterwards, you can just slowly upgrade everything else to T0 slowly and you will hit 5 trillion fairly easily. Okay, my previous videos POB didn't even have like ultimate mods here and it was already hitting dummy cap. So it's definitely possible. Okay, last thing that I have. Okay, tips on crafting the weapon. Okay, I was providing a starting point for you to begin the build. Okay, let's say you have money, you actually want to craft proper weapons. Okay, this is what I would start out with. Okay, so first of all, I would start off with the advanced ethics. So elemental damage to gear, advanced sequence. So look at this, right? It's like 600, 400, right? So for now, it's still fairly cheap. Okay, start off with the elemental damage for the gear sequence. After you craft on this, okay, what you can do is you come over to here. Okay, this imprint crystal basically lets you move a base affix from one item to another item. So if I have a bow with +2 projectile quantity, I can move it onto this new bow. Right, so what you would have is a random base affix. You have crafted your weapon here. You can transfer +2 projectile quantity onto this bow using the imprint crystal. So I think that is the most cost efficient way of building like the GG weapon essentially. Okay. Apart from that, yep, I don't think there's most of the time when people don't have enough damage, it's simply just your mods being like not a high tier or you don't have the correct mods on your gear. Okay, the thing about Torchlight is everything compounds, so you really do want to have all these sources, like, how do I say this? Like everything compounds on each other. So once you finish your gear here, at the same time you need to have your slates, like everything adds up together, right? It's a slow process of building up your damage and then it will compound accordingly, right? You're not really going to have like one upgrade and then boom, you're going to have like 1-2 trillion increase in damage, right? Except for maybe this mod, right? This mod here, which is why I say this is very important. Okay. Apart from that, I think that's about it. Okay, if you have any questions, okay, you can leave it in the comments or you can come by the stream and ask me. I generally still just look at every POB that people send in chat, okay? So if you can catch me while I'm streaming, then yes, I will be answering questions usually. Okay, But I don't think I will be making any more updates to this because I want to move on to the next build. Okay, I'm like a serial reroller, so I want to play something new soon. So I am still farming up still farming up. Okay, getting more money in from everywhere. Okay, yep. So next build will probably be coming soon once I get it up and running. Okay, with that, thanks for watching Web Puddle, and bye bye.